holy city of Mashhad, where he was from. All right, that's still coming from the US related development now. Okay, I still have another one from the Punch newspaper, and that's talking about the war in Iran. Yes, but your general overview tribute would take place that same evening in Tehran before Khamenei's body was buried in the holy city of Mashhad, where he was from. All right, that's still coming from the US related development now. Okay, I still have another one from the Punch newspaper, and that's talking about the war in Iran. Yes, but your general overview of what do you think is looming with the war in Iran?
Well, let me start from our home here. Iran war portends 2 or 3 things. Number one, the good side of it is that now the oil price is soaring. It's going to, yesterday it was 80 going to 100 today, and before you can say Jack Robinson will be going towards Jonathan era, where we are selling our own a barrel of crude for $150 to a barrel. To us, that would be a good thing, because now in the last 2 years, since 2023, we have not been able to meet our output target in terms of oil. And so it has really affected our budget in terms of revenue that are supposed to be generated. The expected revenue did not come. But with this now, we're going to have much more money, and we're going to have enough money to really prosecute the budget, which is going to be good omen for Nigeria. Implementation of that budget and that thing, but the money is going to come. That's the one aspect. The other aspect is that we may or we may not we may begin to experience kill again if Dangote could not really meet the capacity for the total consumption power of the petrol, that's the gas that we need. I'm talking about the capacity of Dangote to really meet our domestic requirement in terms of petrol. And don't forget that what the NNPC is supplying to Dangote in terms of crude is not enough for what is expected. So Dangote also import crude, and also the NNPC through NIMSDRA also import crude. And as it is now, the war in Iraq has made it so difficult, because the majority of those that supply us, they are from the Middle East, and the Hormuz channel that was blocked is really going to cause a lot of problem, because now for the crude to come here from Saudi Arabia, from other parts of the Arab world, if Dangote refinery or the local thing could not provide enough one that we need, it's going to cost kill, and the price is going to, as a matter of fact, now the price has risen from 830 now to about 9 something, to also begin to tell us that we are also feeling the effect. Even though it's available, it may be expensive. And don't forget in Nigeria, hello,
I'm with you, sir.
And don't forget in Nigeria that Nigerian marketers take advantage of everything to punish Nigerians. Yeah. So because of that, even though if we have enough capacity, some this marketer will still go ahead to really increase it on the name of there's war in Iraq and that crude is not coming. So that's the other aspect. The third aspect I want to talk about is the issue of this protest. Though I know that Khomeini is Shiite Muslim, and Zaki Zaki and Co, they are Shiite Muslim in Nigeria, and they have their base in Kaduna and Abuja, and that's why they protest is predominantly in Kaduna, Kano, and Abuja that people are protesting. But we should be very careful. I expect the federal government, the president, and the security apparatus to be on top gear, because now Israel does not joke with all this support. We should be very careful. The Nigerian government should be able to make a statement to say that these people are not protesting on behalf of Nigeria, that they are protesting on behalf of their religious inclination, so that because they belong to share the same religious movement of the Ayatollah Khomeini that was killed in Iraq, and that they should find means of stopping it before it escalates to a lot of issues. Don't forget that we have security issues that we are battling with already. Now, if you now add that to the issue of Khamenei's death, that a lot of Shiites are protesting in Nigeria, then it can cause a lot of problem for us. U.S. Israel does not deal with. In fact, they see every enemy, every friend of Iran as their enemy. So it doesn't matter who they are. And don't forget, Iraq has threatened, Israel has threatened before when they posted the statement made by Saeed Okubo that they are going to fight anybody that come here in the name of something, they are going to fight them. They have noted that the U.S. is in Nigeria already saying that there are a lot of problem of Muslim in the country, and that's why I expect the president to have come out now and make a statement and say these people are doing it on their own, not on behalf behalf of Nigeria, and also find a means of quelling that riot from escalating to something that may not be able to contain, that they will not be able to contain the wrong. Right. So having said that, we now have to look at the whole scenario and say, we know that now the war between Iran and Israel is actually be a war of weeks. Now don't forget before now that there have been a lot of issues of Iranian enriching uranium, and they said they have reached agreement to 98%. You know what that means? It's going to mean that Iran is going to have a nuclear weapon. And the problem in the Middle East has been that against Israel, they see Israel as an odd person there, and they want to take Israel out. And US see Israel there as the eye to the Middle East, and that's why you find out that anything that Israel support, they always supporting it. The US always supporting it because that's the eye. And apart from that, you see a lot of bases there that they have been touching. So Khamenei has been that kind of a leader. Has been able to say, no matter what you did, we are going to enrich that uranium with the support of Russia and China. And unfortunately, now because of the level of devastation,
permits me to cut in, sir.
Very careful with this respect.
Yes, permits me to cut in, and because we have just less than 5 minutes to go on the program today. Subsequently, of course, we're going to start earlier. We are just using this one to welcome you on Fly 104.9 FM, Eregina Ekiti. Now, reports just coming in says that the IGP, that's Inspector General of Police, has inaugurated State Police Implementation Committee. Yes, the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, earlier today, Wednesday, inaugurated an 8-member committee to oversee the implementation of state police and the rollout of his policing vision following his confirmation as the 23rd Indigenous IGP. Your take on this briefly? Yes, inauguration of State Police Committee.
Yeah, you remember that state police has been the baby of, in one of the restructuring that is doing, it has been the baby of this president. That one of the ways to end insecurity is the creation of state police. So, and they have been trying every time, though there are a lot of, some they believe in it, some they believe in it. But if you remember that the last Inspector General of Police, which is Betokun, did not really support it because to him, he sees state police as a rival. In fact, one of the problems he's having is that with the presidency at that time, when he was removed, was that what I learned or read about was that mean his hostility and his defiance in always against state police each time they come on in the national security meeting and a lot of meetings. So, but I think somebody must have told the issue and said, if you want to call it the favor of Mr. President, you really have to buy into state policing. So, because there's nothing like one of the restructuring that wants to do, and one of the program policies that wants to do is, apart from a local government restructuring.
All right. Hello, sir.
Administration is the creation of state police.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
So it's the state police, but everybody could not sign to it because to him it's going to be rivaling the national police. But in every part of the world, we have, in fact, there's some countries we have 3 levels of policing. Some we have metropolitan, you have sheriff, you have so you have sheriff, you have metropolitan. So.
All right.
And so, but in Nigeria, they only want to have one, that's the federal one.
Okay.
And so that's why it is. And that has been a lot of problem. But Disu now said, well, let's start it. And don't forget that the law has gone to a level where it has gone through the states. And majority of the states of the federation are supporting it, some did not support it. But the law says that 2/3 of the states of the federation, 2/3 of the state houses of assembly must support it because it can become a law. I think they are working towards that. But they really need the police to support it. And Disu now, being a wise person that is coming in and being the former ADC to Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was the governor of Lagos, he really understand the body language of the president, and that's why he knows that the first thing I want to do now is to set up this implementing committee to work with relevant agencies and government to really ensure that the establishment of state police is very smooth and without any hindrance.
Thank you so much for being our guest today on the program, Engineer Muyiwa Obayanju. Hopefully, we'll be having you on subsequent editions of the show. Thank you so much for being our guest on Fly 104.9 FM. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me, and I do have a great time at Fly 104.9 FM.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, this will be the wrap on the program today. Join us again tomorrow for another edition. My name is Kozim Oladapo. Do enjoy the rest of the day.
matter. As you did do me, oh, now so I go do you. I need you all to myself. I mean, I said, I do not know the stranger sleeping in your bed. You dare give me shoulder.